Right, so first off, obviously, going through another deck I've pulled apart for MTG to sell off or trade in, to stock up a little bit more in credits so that I can, buy some cases of Dusk Till Dawn. Speaking of which, that's what I want to sort of retouch on today is actually Dusk Till Dawn. So previously I did a little video discussing the serialized set of cards, and since then it's been a little bit, I had some time to mull things over, think about it a bit more, ask around, get some different opinions, have somewhat of a healthy discussion surrounding the topic. And I think what's really come to mind is there's a level of misunderstanding for why, anyone who this does affect has an issue with it. Okay? So a lot of the principal things that are sort of, said about it is either it's 20 cards out of a set of, who knows, 300 to 400,000 boxes, probably. So the pull rate is incredibly minimal. So why would anyone have a grievance? Chances are of any single person pulling a card, it's ridiculously small that it's not worth getting bent out of shape about. That's the first big argument. Second one is, obviously, it doesn't affect the majority, so the majority aren't going to have an issue with it. And that's completely understandable. That's a rational thought to have. And then there's also the flip side, which is you should just be happy for those who do get to, have a chance to pull these cards, who get to experience these cards within their region community, if you will. And what I think a lot of people are missing is it's not the cards that are an issue. It's not, pulling one of these 20 cards out of a box. That's not the issue. What the issue really is the fact that this decision was made without, any rationale given to why it had to be made. So that's the big annoyance for anyone who, again, this does affect, so anyone not serviced by the Belgium printing of Dusk Till Dawn. We have issue with this because, at a glance within this article, we get one little line, which is just, serialized art cards are only available in product manufactured in Belgium and available via distribution in North America, Brazil, and Europe. We don't get any explanation as to why this choice was made, and that in itself is the issue. Where we're sort of just passed aside glancingly that, of course we're going to be bent out of shape about the fact that this is the 10th set milestone. That is what it's being marketed as, and they've crafted something truly special for players and collectors alike as a celebration of this milestone for Flesh and Blood. Yet at the same time, they are ostracizing a portion of their community through this decision. Now, regardless of the actual implications of this decision, again, the small size of cards that are, unrealistic to pull for any single person, it is the issue of the choice that was made. That is the big grievance, at least from my perspective, that anyone from, Pacific Asia, we have an issue with. The fact that we're just passed over, again, with no real explanation as to why the decision A had to be made or was made. Because from a realistic standpoint, either you could have doubled the serialized cards, they're going through some degree of printing, they're not just artist proofs, because obviously they're getting cold foil treatment, so why couldn't they be printed in both boxes? If it was a quality control issue, which was another speculatory thing, well, why couldn't that be stated and addressed? And then also, why not go the extra mile and make sure that some level of these cards got out to Pacific Asia? So we'll do a rough estimate. We'll say 20%. So we'll do very conservative estimation. 20% of the player base is in Pacific Asia. So, predominantly Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore. Again, I believe are the three biggest regions, until Japan actually has its full release. It's probably already had a release, right? As in an actual language set for Japanese. So yeah, if we go with 20%, so 20% of 20 cards means that roughly 4 cards would be pulled in this region if you go off, basic statistics. So what does that mean? Well, from a perspective, it means that we're missing out on observing 4 of these cards being pulled within the communities we belong more closely to. And that's, that's a big mental thing for a celebration like this, to see someone we are, in a sense, able to, connect with on a continental or regional level, pull one of these cards and, enjoy it. The fact that everything is just going to be pulled in Europe, Brazil, and North America, it's just like we've been brushed aside completely for this event, regardless of whether or not, something down the line is done with the Japanese printing, which again, I personally, again, will have problems with that, because this sense of a region-specific or region-exclusive cards within an actual set, because we'll get to that in a second, within an actual set, shouldn't be something that is needed or really done, given how big worldwide distribution is nowadays in terms of region-exclusive promos. So obviously there's a fair few. Team Covenant gets some, Channel FaB will get some, Rudy from Alpha Investments gets some, but those are a bit different to being part of the actual set, and that set being marketed as, again, that 10th milestone, something for all the players to celebrate with. So all those promos, they're understood to be exclusive through those distributors or stores, if you will. Okay, so anything you get through Team Covenant, anything you get through Channel FaB or through Rudy and Alpha Investments, you understand that they have this privilege because they were early adopters, early promoters, and it's a little bit of a give back that is a great thing for LSS to do, but it is not within a set. So the fact that not only do we have a difference in the printings in terms of A, quality or any other issues that may come up again, but then we also have an actual card list that is now different. So that is an issue to me. There shouldn't be that degree of a difference between the two sets. Now, all that aside, once again, I will just reiterate, the biggest issue with this is not the 20 cards, is not the pull rates, is not being able to not pull a card. It is the fact that this decision was made and presented without any real information behind it. Okay, if Legend Story Studios had presented a proper case for why this decision was made, it would be a lot more palatable for anyone this does affect. But to just have it as a tagline that wasn't even, completely clear in the first iteration of the article, is going to be a grievance. Okay, this is essentially exclusion without any realistic information as to why, it is rational to exclude. Again, we'll do a conservative estimate, 20% of the community. So all in all, I just wanted to, go over it a bit and clarify that is the number one concern, at least for me, that the decision was made, and the decision was made in almost at least presented in such a casual manner. It's not a nice feeling as someone who has backed the game since very early on to be excluded. Yes, I understand that my chances to pull any one of these cards, but I'm also now missing out on anyone within my region, anyone in Australia, anyone in New Zealand, anyone within a rational continent that I could do a transaction with easily, being able to pull these cards. Even from, a creator perspective, anyone being able to showcase these cards, even if you go with the whole mentality, well, stores will be the majority to pull, it would have been great to see a listing on Good Games or something like that, which, is predominantly the largest single card operator in Australia, I would surmise. But we won't even get that opportunity because they are completely limited to, again, North America, Brazil, and Europe. And if you go with the majority aspect, well, yes, North America is the majority of the player base, but Brazil and Europe get to piggyback on the simple fact that they are near Belgium and therefore receive the same boxes that have been manufactured. Again, I don't feasibly see why it couldn't have been taken that little bit extra mile. If not split up the 20 cards within a fair approximation of player bases, maybe. Why not just double it up? Have a set of the serialized cards in both printings. It's just a bit odd to me that, again, this decision is made so casually. But yeah, that's overall my big issue with it. Again, cards themselves, not an issue. Pull rate themselves, not really an issue. It is the fact that the decision was made. That is the biggest issue I see with this and Dusk Till Dawn.